also has given.
Okay,
Yes.
I think
Okay.
I think we have started the webinar. I think Beth has started it. So Gautam, please take over.
I can put the slide. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Rajesh, you can start.
Oh, you want to go ahead and start? I guess.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, good evening, everybody, and good morning to people in the US. I am Gautam Datta, a retired professor of IIM Ahmedabad and past president of RSI. So today we are going to have the third webinar series on the applied analytics, and I will just before I start and give an introduction, we will just hand over to Rajesh to speak certain things, and then I will be taking back again, and after that we'll hand over to the speakers. Over to Rajesh.
Okay. Hi. Good afternoon or good evening, I should say. So I'm Rajesh Tyagi. I am currently the president of Inform's practice section. Gautam, if you'll switch over the slide to the next one, please.
Right.
So for those who are not very familiar, Informs is the professional organization. This stands for Institute for Operations Research and Management Science. And within that large community, there is a subsection, or there's some of the folks are members of a particular section on practice. So these are folks who either work in industry or who are professors who previously or at one time used to work in industry, or they currently do a lot of consulting work with industry or just have an interest there. So the objective of this particular section is to help advance the practice of analytics, operations research, and management science. And to that end, we conduct a number of competitions. So we have 3 very prestigious competitions which are held once every year. We also have some monthly events or periodic events, one of which is this webinar series. We tend to have some from US, and really want to thank Gautam and Sundaravali and some of the other folks for starting this series, where they are advertising and recruiting folks, teams from India to make presentations. And we also have a monthly networking happy hour, which often is on the last Thursday of each month, usually around 5 to 6 in the evening US time. We also have a couple of events which are held during the conferences. So we have 2 conferences, one in spring around April and one in fall around October. And we typically may have some sessions catering particularly to practitioners or from folks presenting from the industry. So again, hope you enjoy these webinars that the team from India is putting up, and perhaps you will be able to join some of these other presentations that we have from the practice section as well. Gautam, please take over.
Yeah. Okay, hi. So we have found that although there are a lot of OR professionals in India, somewhere practice is not getting highlighted. I was president of ORSI in 2019, and then we found out that there is an important event which is missing, is the practice part. So we have a core team for ORSI practice, which is headed by me and Sanjay Kumar Prasad from IBM, Siddharth Sengupta, formerly from TCS and IIT Bombay. Professor Vasu is from IIM Bangalore, Sundaravalli is from IIM Ahmedabad, and Suvita is from the Nirma University. So we have done one practice prize competition, and we are going to have the next practice prize competition, or called applications paper prize contest 2024-25. It will be going to be a joint ORSI IIMA event, and last date for entry is August 31st. So we'll be putting it into the website or in the LinkedIn. I will be writing it within the next 2 or 3 days. So just wanted to let everyone know about this. So please advertise this, and we are going to go through the LinkedIn to advertise this. Coming back to today's presentation, we have TVS Motors, I think one of the major manufacturing company in India, the decision support system for product 2-wheeler allocations for multi-plants across India through analytical mathematical model. And this will be led by 3 people from TVS Motors, Dr. S. Devarajan. K. Ravi. S. Devarajan is Senior Vice President, Advanced Manufacturing Engineering. K. Ravi, Associate Vice President of the Manufacturing Engineering. And Mr. M. A. Raju, General Manager for Manufacturing Engineering. Just to give a brief background, Dr. Devarajan is Senior Vice President, having 40 years of experience in the TVS in production engineering, product development, new technology, development, and sustainability. So he has a wide experience and knows that where exactly OR or applied analytics could be used. K. Ravi is heading the manufacturing and systems engineering, leading the OR group in the community of practice in TVS. He has about 32 years experience in production engineering, OEM project management. And Mr. M. A. Raju, so heading the assembly engineering and applications of OR tools, the active factory. So you can just raise your hand, Dr. S. Devarajan. Yeah. Mr. K. Ravi. Okay. And M. A. Raju. Okay.
Yeah.
And there is one more gentleman. I could not introduce him, so you can just introduce yourself on this. Okay. So I'm going to now hand it over to the TVS group, and they are going to talk about the applications of advanced analytical mathematical models for the which has also been used in the TVS. I think important part is that there is a model which is there, but it is being used, or is it of anything which is going to help them in maintaining their profitability, productivity, and is it going to give them competitive advantage? So they are going to tell us about those aspects and other. So over to, I'm going to just hand it over to
Okay, I'll take
TVS
over.
group. So I'm going to stop share now. Okay.
Yeah, we will try to share us.
You can try to share this, yes.
Good evening and good morning to everyone. Is my slide visible?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good evening and good morning to all. I'm Devarajan. Thank you for the introduction. And I welcome you for this webinar. I thank Informs for extending this excellent opportunity for us to share what we talk about community of practice approach in OR application through yellow belt, green belt, and black belt methodology, which helps in the business results. So next slide. These are contents. We have a general presentation of our company, evolution, as well as OR case study, which is important. And we'll have last 10-15 minutes on the question and answer. Next slide. TVS Motor Company is a part of TVS Group, which has got a legacy of more than 100 years, 112 years. We have a range of product from moped to scooters to motorcycles to three-wheeler. If you go to the next slide. Yeah, we have, in terms of two-wheeler, we have both motorcycles, scooters, and mopeds. And this is our entire product range. And the three-wheelers is on passenger and cargo. And the latest on the two-wheeler is called IQ. And all our vehicles are Smart Connect. We are using the latest technologies, having the BS6 and IQ. And many of the industry's first is in our products. We have two major plants, in three locations, two major plants in Hosur and Mysuru and in Himachal Pradesh. And we have an international plant in Indonesia. All the plants are TQM, TPM, lean and sustainable practice are adopted as a TVS way. And we are the only company in the world among the two-wheelers to get Deming Award. Our major thing is TVS. It's called Trust, Value, and Service. And the new areas are trust, value maximization, speed with agility, customer obsession, exactness, and disruptive mindset. So all of you are welcome to TVS Motor in many areas. So I'll just go about our 100 years of existence. We started with 1911 in the bus service. And from there itself, the quality started. We were talking about adjustment of watches when the bus comes. So it is beyond time, without any breakdowns. In 1929, we had General Motor dealership, extended to the logistics and network, and started the auto component manufacturing in 1961. And this plant of two-wheeler started in 1979. We entered into electronics and overseas manufacturing in Indonesia in 2000. Then 2008, we had the three-wheeler business. And 2012, we have entered into the real estate business also. So I think it is a major US is around $8 billion. And we have a social wing called Srinivasan Trust, where we talk about the community development also. Among the company overview, we are among the top 5 or top near 4 in the world for the two-wheeler manufacturing. And all the products between two-wheeler and three-wheeler segment is present. All are indigenously developed. All the things are manufactured in a plant and delivered to the customer. And all the plants are state of art. I mentioned about the TQM, TPM awards in all the plants in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Himachal Pradesh. We have capacity over 5.5 million of two-wheelers. Almost every 14 or 15 seconds, we have a product made in our plant, and about 2.4 lakhs of three-wheelers. So we have an in-house R&D and manufacturing capability, which is world-class. We also design and develop products for BMW Motorrad, Germany. And even the Motorrad vehicles are sold all over the world. We have extensive service across the India and abroad. And definitely it helps us to grow the market share in terms of 27% market share CAGR over the last 10 years. So this is our company's overview. Plus, we have extended to around 70 countries plus in Latin America, Africa, Asia. And we have more than 5,000 outlets, 6,200 outlets in overseas, and more than 30 assembly plants across the world. So now you can see that we have extended from India and across the entire Latin America, Africa, and Asia. So if you really see what is the importance of TVS Motor, is among the first in terms of our own design. First in India to launch moped. Moped is almost like an LCV today, used in India and outside India also. And we have the first in India to launch the 100cc motorcycle. At that time, where more than 250cc were there in India. And we have the dedicated racing team. And all the learnings of racing have incorporated into the product. And racing, we have won all the awards in India and now in outside India also. And we were the first to introduce the Variomatic Scooty. Scooty is becoming like a trade name now and a brand name like Xerox. And any scooter is called Scooty today. And we were the first to introduce the ABS technology on the safety portion of it. And first to introduce 150cc motorcycle. And all the Bluetooth scooters, we are used Bluetooth, and we are first to introduce all the technologies into our two-wheeler. So we feel that R&D is key, development is key, and delivering to the customer, which adds value to the customer, is the key. Next. So if you really see the range of products, like what we saw from moped to scooters to motorcycles, and into the super bikes today, we have the variety. And almost like each customer is different, we call it N is equal to 1. In this competitive world, we need to use all the operational techniques to see how we can deliver on time and on quality to the customer. Hence, we find the new technologies like operational research are all important to be applied into our practice. So in order to sustain our customer expectation, which is changing every day, and need to keep the technology abreast, and to see that we get business result, we are trying to apply the operation research in a different way. We want to have data-driven decision through community of practice. We want to ensure that it is supported across the entire chain of our company, and see that we involve people to deliver. So hence we call it as a community of practice. And probably the next slides will say how we have gone into community of practice. Ravi, you're able to see?
Yeah. So you're able to hear me, sir?
Yeah. No, you can.
Yeah,
I will run the slides. You can go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Devarajan, sir. Once again, good evening, good morning to all members. I'm Ravi, taking you through the evaluation of our community of practice at TVSM. Next. So Sri Venu Srinivasan, our chairman emeritus, TVS Motor Company, seeded the vision for operation research capabilities for all TVSM executives and managers. As a visionary, he could sense the economic disruptions taking place a decade ago. So in 2015, he visited Purdue University as an alumni, and he interacted with the professors there and discussed the proposal for operation research program for a special program for TVS Motors engineers. In his second visit by March 2016, he approved an executive education program development with the Purdue as well as Karnataka Management Institute. So that was the seeding took place. Next slide. So once approval was given in 2016, and we have our own TVS Institute for Quality and Leadership, they took up the challenge in 3 phases, and the foundational phase was phase 1 from 2016 to 2019, where co-creation of executive education program exclusively developed for TVS Motor, which is custom-based. What is needed for what business challenges that we have and what solution opportunities that is coming up from Purdue were critically designed through an exclusive process, and that was led by our director, Dr. Kovichelvan, from TVS Institute side. So in 3 phases, the phase 1 took nearly 4 years, and the 5th year, we got into forming COP. So as I go forward, I will explain. Here at this stage, it took 5 years to create a module and deliver and get a critical mass of experts across 8 to 12 departments in the supply chain area. Next. So this is a special process. We call it as RD methodology from TVS Institute, a special process. And this process was used to co-create an executive education program. What you see on the right top photo is Dr. Aldi's Karnataka School of Management, and right bottom is where TVS core team members across 6 to 8 departments, and then Granite and as well as IE professors, around 16 professors on the various fields was discussed together. We took up the challenges that we have at TVS Motor, and they brought the techniques that can deal with these challenges. And that's how the program was created, using these 5 steps. And it took around 6 months time to develop an exclusive executive program for TVS team. Next. So this is a system of complete development of the executive education program and COP members. As you can see here, it's the yellow belt and green belt and black belt program. So the yellow belt program was handled by IIM Mumbai. Earlier it was NITI, and now it is IIM Mumbai at basic level. And then green belt program, little bit advanced version, increasing number of variables and data points. And we constructed the green belt program. And the black belt is yet to start. In next 2 months' time, the development of the program for black belt is going on now for advanced analytics. So this will be starting maybe after 6 months, another 6 months time. So this is the whole structure of the program development. So when we first went for green belt in 17-18 first batch, we had a problem for the engineers. Majority of the engineers or managers were struggling to cope up with the mathematics and basic statistics issues. They were not able to translate the business problem into a mathematical model to run it. So we introduced a mathematical foundation course that was run by over COP members themselves and with the help of IIM Mumbai. And we had a math foundation test and then suitably selected even before they are getting into yellow belt. So this has strengthened the basic knowledge on complete analytics, and especially translating the descriptive business problem, what challenges that we have in the supply chain, to a model closer to reality. So after yellow belt, you are seeing the action learning projects, which is a key important thing that we created, which means it is not just the theory that is being taught in the executive education program, and they will be certified based on the action learning projects that they are bringing out from their business challenges. So whether it is yellow belt or green belt or black belt, the action learning projects will make them as a qualified war professional, and the certification process is issued. The certification process, the CEO and director joins. So if the certification is issued for yellow belt, that means they have delivered a business, they have solved a problem through or analytics at certain level, and they are joined in COP as an associate member. So this way we saw only 50 to 60% getting it through with certification process. And then we raise the boundary levels for the green belt level, where Purdue is coming in. So, and the green belt level, as of now that we are going on, we have yet to start the black belt level. The green belt left bottom, the green belt is wrongly located. I'm sorry about it. Green belt is below the green tripodal. So black belt is not yet started. And this is a process that we have established in TVSM. Next. So this is an important thing. So we created in the phase 1, we created the critical mass of our experts who are at the bottom. So we have 3 batches of who are certified professional. Batch 1 and batch 2 was completed in 1920 and 17-18, put together around 60 members. And currently batch 3 are certified with yellow belt, and they are ready to take up green belt now in another 2 months time. So we have around totally 118 certified members, either yellow belt or green belt, who can solve problem as given below. The structure is on the top side, the sponsors of the problem. They are all the head of the department, critical departments in the supply chain, all manufacturing, central purchase operations, finance team, and business planning team, and international business sales. And they are offering the problems which can be tackled through war. So they are reviewing the progress also along with that. So you can see the top layer where the sponsors and our director and CEO, who is also periodically reviewing the project status. So between the problem solvers who are at the bottom, and then the problem owners or the business challenge, what they have there, in between the governing council is running. So I'm heading that COP at TVS Motor, and then across departments, the photos below, whomever you are seeing, is representatives or who are green belt certified, or the experts who knows how to translate the problem with respect to their own area and interface with other issues across supply chain. So they are nominated as governing council members, and we have a weekly review meeting. In addition to that, our mentor, Dr. Kovai, who is reviewing fortnightly on the progress side, and on the right side, mm, Professor Emeritus Purdue, Professor Abhi, who is reviewing on monthly basis, and Professor Ganapati from IIM Mumbai, who is also reviewing periodically the project. Over and above, the sponsors above is also connected to reviewing the project on weekly basis. There are review cadence and which is being discussed. And this is the complete visualized setup for the COP to deliver certain targets. So what you see here is this is only an action learning project. This is not the real projects which is connected to the policy level, which is coming up later. And for a person to get qualified and certified on green belt or yellow belt, they have to deliver result-oriented projects. So the number of projects, we call it as action learning projects, along with the theoretical class that they are taking up. And each yellow belt is taking up to 6 to 8 months, and another 6 to 8 months for green belt, and same way another 6 to 8 months for black belt. So in every stage of the project, they have to deliver the project, and once they deliver the project, it is vetted by finance department for the reality of the savings, and then the certification process is being issued. So here, a number of engineers that they have gone in for 118 engineers total, and within that 59 green belt projects. So the 91 projects have been delivered as part of executive education program. Next. So here is one. So though the seeding was done in 2015, and we hit the top floor with our director and CEO in December 2020. It took nearly 5 years to reach out to them. By the time we had 2 batches of experts across 8 to 12 departments. So that was presented to director and CEO, and then within 3 months' time, by February 21, it was seen by our managing director, Sri Sudarshan Venu. So who set the target? The top part is written is his own words in the mail to the team, OR COP team. So he said OR as high opportunity for cost saving. There is probably 1% EBITDA. So this is what he took. And subsequently, KNR said, if there is 1% EBITDA, why not in 12 months' time? So this, we took it up as a challenge to get into all the departments across supply chain. We immediately formed 12 clusters, and they, as a head person, so they are all green belt certified members who are the leads from each of the department. So this is a target that was set 1% EBITDA. So though our director and CEO said within 12 months, that is 22-23, we should have completed, but we had committed for 8 quarters. So in 8 quarters time, we were able to come up to 0.7%. If you can see top 0.4%, that is 23-24 March end. And we have revised our plan for another 4 quarters, that is totally 12 quarters to reach this 1% EBITDA. So when we have done about 12 projects, and these 12 projects yielded about 132 crore million, maybe $15 million, something like that. And this is equivalent to 0.4% on the P&L category and 0.3% in non-P&L category. Because the finance team on the P&L, they declare only whatever is appearing on the P&L category. So we don't want to miss any opportunities that is coming down on the capex front, where 0.3% is a huge saving, which is proactive. Otherwise, we would have ended up in investing on those things. So that was also subsequently appreciated by the top management. However, our declaration on the P&L category is 0.4%. And we have already projects running on that would give in another 2 quarters time to reach out to 0.9% on the P&L category and another 0.4% on the non-P&L category. I think totally 1.6% EBITDA is going to be the realization of that. So the major transformation on the OR COP is on two things. We are slightly shifting from firefighting approach to fire prevention approach, though we have not completely become fire prevention as of now, but we have sensed where we need to hit on preventing the fire. Maybe in another 3 years' time, that we should be able to completely prevent all the fires. So of course, a slight changeover has taken place. And also on the downstream process to upstream process, we looked at the front-end processes, which is driving like retail-based production planning in the supply chain kind of things. So as Dr. Devarajan was telling, and it has really helped us to achieve value maximization and the speed and rigidity, more importantly, the exactness. These are all the values that is being generated by our COP that has run now for the past 9 years, and it is still a 9-year-old baby only in TVS Motors. We have identified all the processes as to how to go forward in the future in achieving targets and revising and revalidating the target for the much more bigger benefits in the way. So anyway, now one of the project as a case study will be shared to you by Raju and team, and then we'll come back onto the question and answer session. Thank you so much. For Raju.
Good evening and good morning to everyone. So I will take you through one of the case study that is maximization of contribution. It is one of our premium product, N-Torque, allocation across the multiple plants. So this is the case study which I would like to take you through for the next 10 minutes time. Our problem statement was the manufacturing location for the capacity enhancements as well as the monthly production. Which plant we need to decide? As what Dr. Devarajan was telling, we have 3 plants in India. In which plant we have to make which variants, so that is one of the critical challenge for us. So this made the need for our OR project to develop OR model to arrive at the right product distribution across the 3 plants. And we have taken the business objectives of maximizing the contribution. How this we can deliver it through the decision support system using OR mathematical model. And also the project metrics we have taken, minimizing the overall cost. It includes the complete BOM cost, material cost, outbound, everything. So this is to give the system overview. As we briefed, we have 3 plants, Hosur, Mysuru, and HP. The particular product which I am sharing the case study is having 5 variants of models, disk variants, and XT version, or 5 models. And we need to distribute this all variants across 29 zones within India. So these are all the different states where we need to distribute from these 3 plants. So this is the approach, what typically we follow. There is a 7-step approach for implementing any or mathematical model, starting from defining the objective and then taking to descriptive modeling, then creating a formal modeling, implementing the model, experiment it, output the analysis, and decision and action. So this is kind of a multiple PDCA. We used to do it during the every steps and see that the model works well. Now coming to the actual this N-Torque model distribution, the objective function, what we have taken is to maximize the contribution for the product, which is nothing but realization minus some of the variables. The variables, if you look at here, the manufacturing plants and dispatch states, as I told you, 29 locations, the material cost, variable conversion cost, fixed cost, variable part cost, and outbound cost. This outbound cost plays a major role. It decides which plant has to produce and how to minimize the overall cost. And of course, the overall realization value, considering the selling price varies between various states. The decision variable, of course, number of the vehicles, variants, which I need to dispatch from which plant to the which state. The constraints what we have taken as of now is the plant capacity constraints and state and variant-wise demand and allocation constraint, and of course the results coming out of the business binary constraints. I will take you through the model, what we used it as a Excel solver, we used it, GMPL programming. For the purpose of confidentiality, we hidden certain data here. However, I will take you through the approach, what we use it. So this is the first inputs cost matrix for the model, considering the material cost. And this material cost vary for all the 5 variants of the product, what I was talking about, the entire variants. And also this varies between different plants. So this is the what you are seeing, the maximizing the contribution, this overall objective in that material cost, variable cost, and then fixed cost as one of the input. Then this is talking about the demand because the sales demand varies from state to state for models. These demands we receive as part of the input from the sales department. So there are 29 zones where we need to distribute these 5 variants. So this talking about the demand requirement per month, and then we convert it into per day. This is DJK. Now I am coming to the another one more input in terms of the cost matrix, talking about the realization, as I was talking about the selling price for the models, which also varies between the different 29 zones. And the key in one of the variable is the outbound logistics cost. It varies for the locations Hosur, Mysuru, and HV to the particular state which we need to deliver it in India. So that is OIJ. So now coming to the plant constraints, what we have taken is plant capacity, because the capacity on every plant varies, and this is one of the constraints which we have taken up. And we use this GMPL programming to run the model. Almost it is having 435 variables, considering all the variables which I was talking about. And when we finally run this model, we get the final output from the model. So this is the final results, what we get as a binary output, and then in terms of quantities, what we need to deliver from which state to which location to which state we need to deliver it. So if you look at here, the system recommends what are all the states we need to deliver from south, so that we can minimize the cost and then maximize the overall contribution. The model recommendation is almost 0.8% of the percentage to turnover, which is higher. In fact, we used initially the entire variant at one location, which is lower, and having we applied this mathematical model, we could able to increase by 0.8% on the contribution. So this is one of the maturity model for the case study, what I was presenting it. In fact, we started this mathematical model from 2019, started with one product where we take as Entorg as a model. And then when we develop the algorithm and then using our GMPL solver, we moved on to 4 variants. The models will have the further variants. So we started with 40 variables, moved on to 435 variables. We've taken constraints, MIW, and then we used solver and then GMPL. Before using this mathematical model, it was purely of manual intuition based, and then capacity available at individual locations of supplier as well as MIW. Now, to move forward, which we would like to integrate all the models what we are having. So we have almost 750 SKUs which we have across the Indian domestic, which we deliver it. We would like to take up to all the SKUs, and almost it comes 130 variables, which is impossible to use our GMPL and Excel solver. So we are planning to move towards Groby and O9 platform and integrating MIW supply chain complete the supply chain constraints. So if you look at the overall the maturity model, moved from the strategy of capacity planning to tactical of production planning on monthly. Then we are looking for production scheduling and sequencing on hourly basis. So this is the how we are implementing such kind of OR projects across the entire supply chain from supplier, in fact now with the tier 1, and then to the dealer end. Also cutting across all the business functions which we were talking about, manufacturing to even including EV, we are considering it now, and also cutting across the OR clusters, which we created almost 12 clusters for this. As an overall summary, we could able to complete 1 or 2 projects, which includes action learning and 1% EBITDA projects, which is yielded a overall result of 0.76% of EBITDA so far. Okay, to go forward, we continuously do our learning and then benchmarking. We conduct our OR conference at TVS Motor. So this is one of the last year what we have conducted. We invite the OR practitioners from all over India, and they showcase their projects to us, and we present our best case studies. It is how the cross learning which is happening. This is the conference within India, and also we participate in the conferences international, which we participated in Informs during last year, and also this year our team has participated. We take the benchmarking with the Edelman competitors, and then we could able to really inspired about the projects what they have taken, and then savings what they have taken, which we are trying to apply for our OR COP. Coming to the maturity model, currently we are at the OR COP. We are at a level 2 now, where we used AMPL, GMPL, and the analytical solvers which we used it, which is of linear static in nature. So to move forward, we are trying to leverage the Groby and CPLEX and GMP, many things which we would like to take it further as L3, and also move forward with the quantum computations, also bringing the AML as part of our OR applications as the advanced OR program. This we are currently working with Purdue, which is going to be linear dynamic, moving to linear, non-linear static, and to the non-linear dynamic. So this is the maturity model which we are currently working. Coming to the last slide, the challenges what we are facing for implementing the OR applications. One is important is the change management, where implementing OR approach as a DSS, decision support system, throughout the supply chain. This is one of the critical challenge which we would like to move forward with, bringing this COP as a culture across TVSM supply chain, with bringing more COP, the black belts as well as PhD programs, and data availability and quality, which is also one of the major challenges. So which we are working to invest data infrastructures, skill development, and bringing the large scale problems. The last one is integration with existing. We have many legacy systems in place. So how these OR tools will work as a plug and play system. This is one of the key challenges which we are playing, which we are trying to use our the Groby and O9 kind of a platforms on the entire supply chain processes. So this ends our presentations of our OR journey and the case study. Thank you.
Yeah, so questions. I think I have one question here. How TVS assesses the risk involved in decision making based on OR model versus top-down approach? Anonymous attendee. So, yeah, I think.
Can I just interrupt for a second, folks?
Yeah,
there is
sure.
Yeah. So there is a folks. There is a Q&A button there on your screen. So if you have any questions, please hit that Q&A button and type in your questions. And Beth, if you can unmute the participants as well, please, so they can ask questions directly as well. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That question?
Yeah. So I think Gautam had a question, or maybe Gautam didn't ask. But anyway,
I was restating the question. This is from attendee. How
okay.
TVS assesses the risk involved in decision making based on OR model versus top-down approach. I think there are now 4 questions, so I'll say one by one, but let the first answer come.
Yeah. See, risk analysis is the most important thing in any decision we make. So many of the areas, we have a cause and effect analysis, and we have a risk matrix in our company where we say what are the actions to be taken, what are the impact of the action. Previously, the various options were not considered. Many of the areas we're talking about, even in this example we saw, we said capacity is available in Mysuru, we deliver from Mysuru. Whereas when you apply this OR techniques, we found there are various options which needs to be evaluated. So, and of course the risk in terms of the transportation, in terms of the development of supplier in many areas. So there are many risks also involved. So what we normally do, we have a matrix in terms of risk priority index, and we're talking about high risk and in terms of the benefit we get. So we have a 2x2 matrix which we follow and try to say how much risk can be mitigated. Not that all the risk can be overcome, but these tools we found that it gives you various options we are able to evaluate and talk openly on the risk also involved. So we are able to get back to the management onto the risk involved, the actions can be taken, and the overall benefit we get to the company. And we can always challenge if it is just a decision given rather than decision made by using these tools. So I think a lot of learnings is happening. Still a journey has to be taken. Still a lot of learnings also are getting it done. And so we find that the best way is to have different options and best way is to have transparency of this data, and data is used for decision. So this is the way we are trying to do, and we are still in the learning journey.
Yeah, Sanjay, you can ask your question. You are the next.
Okay, so thanks a lot, TVS team. Let me start by saying that it was an excellent presentation, very nicely done, and like lot of good insights. So thanks for that. My question number 1 is that how do you isolate the benefit from a particular initiative on a process? And especially given that at any time, multiple initiatives, OR, non-OR, tech management might be running on that process. So how do you say that this much benefit you got from this process?
See, we create a project bank, and then we identify the projects for OR applications. Having we implemented the projects through OR applications, we have a structured the financial analysis along with the finance team, where they certify what is the potentials which we have saved it through this. So even though all these savings we are showing as a predicted savings, because the model shows when I'm implementing it today, what I'm going to save it over the period of 12 months time. So this we work along with our finance team and then say if this volume is projected for this much, what is the savings? We consider this as a predicted saving as of now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another thing is there are sometimes there may be an overlap also because we have the benefit of investment already made but used for other purposes. So since we have facilities that are trying to make it flexible, we can say we are able to use these facilities for the other model and say there's a benefit. So there is a lot of combined working along with finance, combined working along with the benefit on the technical areas. So overlaps will be there, and we are trying to say how we can be, like what you asked, can you really make a differential? There may be a challenge. But we are saying how flexible are our facilities and how area we are able to make the benefit seen. So that's the way we are trying to work. Secondly, when we have data into much more in detail, for example, we have IoT inside a factory, how much of benefit we get, So we are able to get very clear in terms of where we can use it in terms of the visibility. We are trying to say how to evaluate the cost. So hence we involve people, involve finance, involve our technical teams, and evaluate between the direct benefit and indirect benefit as well. But it's a very important thing.
Okay, I think we'll move to the next question, which is Manish Kumar, how are you handling uncertainties?
Ravi, you want to answer, Ravi?
Time is also very. He was asking that question, how to differentiate from the conventional to OR, how to.
Next
So in the
question,
case study that was presented by.
Okay, fine. You have answered that question already. Sundaravalli has raised hand. Sundaravalli, can you come out with your? Yeah. Sundaravalli, are you there? I don't think Sundaravalli is there. Siddhartha Sengupta.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Okay, so I had 4 questions. One of the slides said that the objective was to maximize savings, but the profit looked like profit maximization, which is what is good, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
The second is, you said that you also do sequencing. Now, there's nothing in the model which does actually sequencing like what is really done in automobile plants. Is it because you are doing hourly planning that you are also saying that you do sequencing?
Exactly. We in current production lines, we have the batch production today, which we are doing it. So we want to leverage how our techniques can be used to define the sequencing also on the line. That is what our goal to take up on that phase.
Because our takt time is around 24 seconds. So almost one vehicle in 24 seconds. And varieties are also more like what we mentioned. So that sequencing is happening every hour in the plant.
Okay, yeah, that's what I guessed. Thank you. And related to that was another question that you said that in 2019 you did strategic planning and then down to hourly planning. Would you not like to keep those old models because the strategic plan is also important?
Yes, it is important. We continue to do whenever the capacity we do every year. We use the same model to decide, okay, which strategic location, which I have to create a capacity.
Like
also,
when a new competitor comes in, or you have a new model, then once again you may need to do a strategic planning.
Absolutely.
Or if you have a battery, new type of battery. I don't know.
I agree. Because the industry is changing so fast. So we need to have strategy and tactics together. So we have changes are so fast today and competition is so many. So we have to be nimble.
The fourth question was you seem to be using only very expensive OR tools, commercial tools, but there are some open source OR tools also which are equally powerful but at no cost. Would you not like to also evaluate them?
Sure.
We will take it up. I think,
we are noted your point. In fact, the case study what I was showing is using Excel solver.
No, these are far bigger than Excel solver. Excel solver has got severe size limitations.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now we use analytical solver. Yes.
Look at Google OR tools.
Sure, sir.
Noted
your point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And the last
last question.
Not question, but a comment. Is the problem you have looked at is very similar to a problem defined in the book on a book on SAP APO. Approaches is also very similar.
Okay.
I can send you the reference to that book.
Can you please share with us? It will be helpful.
Yes, I will send. I think I have a couple of email addresses I will share. Oh, I have your email address also. I will share
Thank you.
Yeah, Sundaravalli. Yes. Next question, Sundaravalli. Can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Hi, Gautam. Am I audible?
Hi. Yeah.
Now,
Hi,
yes.
I'm audible. There were some issues I couldn't, I couldn't open my mic. Good presentation, great presentation. I really enjoyed it. I have one question about this slide 32. See, when you look at slide 32, see, there are three things that they are trying to say. This is, I think somebody else has asked about, when you have multiple SKUs, do you want to deal with all the SKUs together? Are we complicating more than what is usual? So one is, can we take one SKU at a time, or why do you want to combine all the three, one of them? So the second part, I'm specifically looking at slide 32. The second part, you said you combine logistics with the production. So, and the third part, you try to say that, second part, you say it is going about by daily. First part is about monthly, second part is about daily, and third part is about hourly. For a product like, a two-wheeler, do we want to have this granularity or this precision of analysis? After all, it is a made to stock. After all, it's a made to stock. After all, the orders are not going to be real time. After all, there is going to be a pre-booking. So do we want to have this level of granularity, and are we complicating this problem? Specifically, I'm looking at slide 32. Thank you.
Yeah, I think
yes.
Very, very interesting question, and we are in a similar league now. That's why we are in 2023, where we have in terms of the 4 models, 6 models. But India is changing. Every customer is being different. Each one wants different color, each one wants different varieties, and each one different feature in our products. So it's almost becoming n is equal to 1. Each customer is different. But so hence we're trying to get ready and say how much we can meet the customer demand. Maybe per day, getting into, because now it is becoming quality cost delivery, quality cost time. If we miss the time, we miss the business. So we are in that situation today because things are changing in automobile industry, coming to EV, coming to varieties. So build to order. In a BMW, each order is different. In each order, each variety is different. Each color is different. Each country is different. Each country, I'm talking about every model. So we are trying to say how we can reach that. Since India is growing, our exports are increasing. We are facing this challenge, and we want to get ready on it. That's the reason why we put this. But we'll take this input. I think finally it has to give business result. Finally, it has to got benefit for all of us. So we are trying to monitor that risk and take action. Thank you for this question.
Can I have one more question, please?
Fine. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So sorry about this. So the 2 regions you said, one about the Mysuru part, one about the HP Himachal part, and I believe if I recall, there is a third production unit as well. So that doesn't throw up in your solution.
In the mathematical model, we consider that also as one of the variable. Okay, which I think you have considered that. Still
you have considered IQ in many areas. So it is, but this model said deliver from Mysuru, deliver from HP to get the maximum contribution. This model,
Kindly share the presentation if you don't mind. Very interesting presentation, and I really admire.
Sure,
Thank you.
Sure.
I have some. I may have some questions.
One more question, I think.
Bye-bye.
One more question is from Ankit Chaudhary. What is the frequency and how much time is taking to provide the solution? Is optimization model running to the solution providing? How much time is there? I think if I understand it correctly. So.
When we have started this mathematical model for model allocation 2019, in fact, to arrive at the variables, inputs, and then making this model, it took almost 8 to 12 weeks time in the beginning. Having we defined this, when we go for applying this for other models or same models with variants, we could able to do it within a maximum 3-4 days now. But the only point is the input data availability. Computation. See, this Excel solvers, it is computes in maximum 5 seconds times, and we want to go for this all in microseconds. So this is not taking much time for computation.
But defining the problem, taking the data that we want to make it very, very clear.
Okay, there is one question at the end is how do you convert monthly demand to a daily demand? In one of the same slide, it was mentioned.
Okay. See, We have a monthly production plan. We have for all the plants, which we try to convert into daily the dispatch plan for the particular day, and we link it with our Kanban and the sequencing from the suppliers as well as the MAW parts. So that is how we convert from the monthly plan to the daily production.
Okay.
And we link up to the Kanban. We link up to the Kanban, which is pulled to the from the demand from the warehouse to the assembly line and to the machining. We have a Kanban pull.
Yeah.
There is one question whether you provide master students or PhD research internship or OR internship opportunities in the OR domain in our organization. I think this is a very generic question that came from an unknown.
We can discuss that. We can discuss that too. We can discuss with the time, whether how much time is internship available. We can discuss this in detail.
Okay, there is one is from why do you need to solve all SKUs together? Why can't you do this? Is from Bala Murali. I think this has been answered. You cannot. Why can't we do clustering SKU level pre-processing and solve each of the cluster independently with the reasonable accuracy? So, and there are several questions from one anonymous attendee. I think if the anonymous attendee can introduce himself or herself, it will be better. I think we don't know who is the person who is giving. I think
good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Prabjot Kaur.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I think it was my, because I joined late, I'm wondering what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because my background is mathematics. My PhD is in operation research decision sciences. So I work on the mathematical models. So are you trying the fuzzy models also? Hello.
As of now, we yet to try, ma'am. We are not started.
We are in the learning phase of it, and we are. I think Gurobi is another thing which you want to use further in
Any other questions? I think we have practically addressed most of the questions which was there.
Hello.
Yeah. Prabjot Kaur, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, you were talking about some Excel solver where you're facing some issues actually.
The Excel solver is a number of variables. That is the only the constraints what we face it. When we are expanding to the variant level and then SKU levels, which cannot handle. So that is the reason we gone for GMPL programming and then the analytical solver, such kind of the tools.
So this is Rajesh. I have one question. So on the collaboration with Purdue University, is that mainly for teaching courses, etc., or do they help with specific problems or projects as well?
We are trying to use them in or they are helping us in the supporting us in our project and supporting us teaching as the first step. And we are also getting some interns from their college students working in different places who are interested to do work in India. So we have a lot of good relationship with the professors of industrial engineering, manufacturing, and OR.
I want to know about this Purdue. Can you elaborate this? What is happening with Purdue?
Purdue, we are, in fact, our chairman is the
alumnus
from alumni of Purdue, and it started from there. We said, can we have more advanced schooling from there, industry from there? And now we are working with for us to teach in terms of the advanced tools and to get into the yellow belt and the green belt, and also working as a part of the action-oriented projects. Our Abhi Deshmukh, who is the emeritus of Purdue, he'll support us almost every month here in TVS Motor. He comes here.
Are PhD positions available in Purdue for in this particular domain?
I need to check up with them. I'm not sure of that, whether PhD is there. They have. So probably we'll try to,
I'd like to know more. I'd like to know more on this PhD positions with Purdue, please.
Okay.
There's a question from Radhika Kulkarni.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So first of all, I want to congratulate you on the presentation. It's very impressive. And in addition to the wonderful OR implementations that you're doing, I'm very impressed with how well you have built up the OR community of practice. And I think the collaboration with Purdue and IIM Mumbai that you all mentioned is excellent, and I hope it can be taken to other companies as well, because building up a community of practice is very important from all our perspectives. So congratulations on that initiative, and great job with all the projects. Congrats, and I'd love to stay in touch with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to mention Radhika Radhika is the former president of Inform.
President of Informs, yeah.
I think we met her. I think we met her in Informs.
Yes, we met at Informs.
Last year Informs.
Exactly, we met at Informs.
Yeah, we remember.
We met you.
Thank you.
You see our face, you immediately came and discussed with us.
Yes, no, very impressive. And for Sundaravalli, if you can reach out to me, I know the head of the department at Purdue. I can put you in touch with them.
Sundaravalli, good.
I will touch base with you, Radhika. I'll touch base with you.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I think Rajesh would like to state anything before we decide to formally close the session.
I just want to, I think other people have said it as well. Excellent presentation. I think the way you explain the history of your company, the product line, and also the program at Purdue, and this is aside from the problem itself, I thought that was very impressive. I learned a lot. So I hope you can share some of the slides and
Right.
I guess the question, is it okay if I share some of the video part and send it to other folks? I presume that's okay with you guys?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
That will be great. I think if you can allow that, some part of the video could be shared.
I do want to share the part about the Purdue collaboration with some of the other folks who are doing similar things, because I think that's a very interesting concept that I came across just now with you guys. So thank you.
Right. I think we would like to now formally close the session. I think it was an excellent presentation from the time it started. I think the journey of the TVS, how the OR has developed in the last 5 years, from simple model in Excel solver to the higher level of model and other. And this will possibly encourage a lot of other industries in India. I think once we actually write this story and other, I think it's good things to share across others. And I think today we have maximum number of participants for this. We have 54 participants for this seminar today, which is a record number. Last 2-3 times we had about 35, 39 for the last one. This is
and
where
we have got 10 people here in the conference room also.
10, yeah.
Okay. No, you are getting noted only by 4. So great initiative. And I just would like to say that we will have a competition here. I think we starting in India, and I think we will be sharing all of this information in the LinkedIn in a few days. So if you have any questions, you can write to me or to Rajesh, and we will be happy. And great to see people like Radhika is attending this, former president of Informs and other. In fact, two president of Informs came to our ORSA conference 2018 and 2019, one in IIT Bombay and one in IIT Mumbai. Current president, one was the Ramaiah Krishnan who came there. So
Next time we should do IAMA, Gautam. Next time we should have it IAMA.
You should take the initiative.
We can have it in TVS Motor.
Yes,
let's invite Radhika and TVS
there
and
are a lot of
everybody to
people are
IAMA.
actually
Why
telling
can't
this
you?
and other. We can definitely have this in different IIMs, IITs and other. It's a great thing and other. So any questions which you have, I think you can write to me or to Rajesh. And I am actually getting calls and others from people who are doing startup and other in OR. One Kolkata firm has said that they would like to talk about that in terms of this. They are doing metallurgical process, blending optimization and other. So things are improving on the overall basis. And please join whenever in the next 2 months we'll have Tata Steel, who was in the Edelman finalist also in our list of presentations. So we'll have Tata Steel also in the future. So with that, I think we'd like to formally close this Thank you all.
One
for
other
coming.
comment, if I can make, if
Please
anybody
start.
has any suggestions on how to reach some of the more practitioners in India, I don't know if there are certain groups or there are certain colleges that we can reach out to, so we can publicize these events. Again, any suggestions you might have on that, on how to do that, please, again, reach out to Gautam or myself. Thank you, Gautam, for all the work you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
Thank you
much.
for the entire opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.